it didn't just start
Oh
6 months
yeah.
ago,
Yeah, no.
and the city doesn't do anything about it. They're breaking their pockets lined with the employers that are bringing people in, paying them half what they want to pay
Oh yeah.
regular employees,
Yes.
and they don't say anything about the temporary agencies that are bringing all these people in,
Mm.
busting them around to their jobs. I mean, it's human trafficking.
All right, so I'm here today with
Gary Wilson, it's nice to
Gary.
meet you.
It's nice to meet you, Gary. What do you want to tell me about tonight? Were you downstairs to see Vivek?
Yeah, I saw him, and it was nice to see a politician come and listen. It's a shame that it comes to that,
Yes.
where this has been going on for the last 5, 6 years.
Oh wow. Wow.
It didn't just start
Oh
6 months
yeah.
ago,
Yeah, no.
and the city doesn't do anything about it. They're breaking their pockets lined with the employers that are bringing people in, paying them half what they want to pay
Oh yeah.
regular employees,
Yes.
and they don't say anything about the temporary agencies that are bringing all these people in,
Mm.
busting them around to their jobs. I mean, it's human trafficking. They're putting people up in houses that, granted, have been boarded up, and Springfield's had a horrible housing issue where foreclosures, houses boarded up. I think it's 5 years ago. Springfield had almost 40% of the houses were foreclosed on and boarded up.
Oh wow.
So, I look at it from the standpoint someone's living in them. People are paying rent. People say, well, people are being forced out of their houses. 40% of the houses in Springfield were even occupied 5, 6 years ago.
So they're not livable anyway.
Well,
Are they rebuilding anything at all? Or?
they're building a lot.
Okay.
There's 3 or 4 huge developments going on.
Okay.
And it's going to be interesting to see who ends up living in these. They're building the housing development in the east side of Springfield. 1,500 houses.
Wow.
Between $200,000 to $400,000 for the houses.
Wow.
It's a mixed industrial residential business.
Yeah.
I want to see who's going to be living
in them houses
a year from now.
We'll like to double check.
And it's just such a shame that it took Trump to say something about cats and dogs.
Yes.
For anyone to care anything about what's been happening in Springfield for the last 5, 10, 20 years.
That is a shame, You got people that have legitimate issues, legitimate problems with their neighbors, problems with the people, and people have cried out about it, and it takes people worried about felines to, actually.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous that these issues, that's why I'm raised in Springfield.
It's a beautiful town.
I travel all across the country. Every place has its issues. Springfield does, so does Columbus, Cincinnati, any large city.
Oh yeah.
That's like that's how my life. The first time I started coming down here, the restaurants were local, and Springfield was doing great. It still is.
Oh yeah.
Like, I look at it from the standpoint, okay, there's so many businesses that need employees that they have to bring people. That shouldn't be something that people complain about.
No.
Just like some of the warehouses and manufacturing companies that are moving back to the South. Hey, if they need to get people from Haiti that actually want to do a job, but do it legally, bring them in, not inundate the system so much that it's out of control.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
I think that's the biggest thing with this town is just everything's been inundated. and it's beyond the capacity that any of it was designed to handle. You know,
Well,
from the health to the
it wasn't designed to handle the population before this.
yes,
I mean, you looked at all the cutbacks, all the issues with local hospitals. I mean, it didn't start 4 years ago,
no,
5 years ago. COVID was horrible for the entire country, the world.
it was.
And then everything that happened after that, and people don't want, it's like the company I work at. I don't want to have to go to work. I want to work from home. I want to go to the office. I want to be able to watch TV, watch Netflix,
Yep.
do everything except for what the job is.
Yeah.
And that's the attitude. And that's, you know, if they bring people in that have good work ethics from different countries that actually want to work 2 or 3 jobs,
By all
more power
means,
to them.
so long as it's done legally, like you said, and you know.
Politicians don't care. They know. I look at it almost as indentured servitude.
A lot of people have already said that. Oh yeah,
I mean,
yep,
it's cheap labor.
yep,
They can be taken advantage of.
yep.
They can board them, 20 or 30 people in one house that's designed for one family. That should be illegal.
Yeah, yeah, it should be.
And none of the housing codes being
I
enforced.
mean, I run with the fire department back home, and I mean, granted, you know, sure, you might run into an instance where you got, you know, 20 or 30 people in there because there was a Thanksgiving dinner or party or something like that going on, but for the most part, when you run into somebody's house going to, you know,
Oh my God.
search for, you know, victims, you
Well,
don't expect there's going to be
that's
20
the
of
sad
them,
thing
you know, in a
about it,
4-bedroom
that
house.
It's going to take some major
To where,
situation where, I mean, 20 or 30 people trapped in a house that touches
yeah,
fire or apartment complex.
yep, and they all pass, yeah,
And-
or something, whatever, yeah, something
Well-
tragic is normally, it normally wakes people up like that, yeah,
And again, I mean, it's sad what's happening.
yeah,
I mean, it's good that people are finally listening and paying
Yes.
attention. And like, I've never seen anything like this in Springfield. I've lived here my entire life. I mean, to have people that actually are paying attention to what's happening, talking back to their politicians and
Yeah.
expressing their opinions.
yep.
I mean, it's sad but great at the same time to where
Kind of
advocates-
bittersweet,
yeah,
yeah,
people get involved in their local community and try to make it better.
yeah.
I mean, I've never seen that in Springfield. It's changed a lot in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
How you look at the developments, Colorado, right next to the new parking garage, the townhouses that they're building in downtown Springfield.
Yeah, the downtown section here
I
is,
had seen, there hasn't been this much activity since probably the 40s and 50s in Springfield.
wow.
1940s and 50s.
Wow.
Yeah, when IH was here in town and huge manufacturing companies, and there's been more revitalization in Springfield in the last 5 years. Do I think this is hurting it? In a way, because of the negative publicity, but you know, it's bringing revenue into the city.
Yeah.
When people are paying taxes on their job,
Yes.
there's new restaurants opening up. It's
I mean, that's
It's
there's
something
good
else,
too. It's not, you know, so it sounds like it's not all bad. There is some good going on here. But
well, I mean, when was the last time Springfield's population has been over 60 to 65,000? It's
Yes.
probably been 40, 50 years ago.
yeah.
Well,
Yep.
it's been declining since the 60s and 70s.
And now all of a sudden it's back up and
It's gone up too much.
yes.
It's a complicated, complex issue.
So what it-
Problem.
And this is a very complex and loaded question, and don't feel like you have to answer. But what do you think we do moving forward here? How do we fix this?
Have town halls like this.
That was good.
I think if the actual city commission would have town halls like this, not even in an official capacity, just have it out on,
Just go out and talk
Just
to
see-
people,
see-
conversate with people.
do it once a month.
Yeah.
Have other local citizens come down and introduce themselves. I mean, I saw people, I've never heard some stories of something.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty. That's like, I look at it from a standpoint, if I lived in Haiti and the situation that they're going through,
Yeah.
economically, and civil wars,
Oh, yeah, it's
people
crazy.
are praying,
Gangs taking
oh
over.
yeah, and I want to go somewhere. Absolutely.
Oh, I don't blame it at all. If it was me and my family, I'd be doing the same thing they're doing.
It's like someone said that in the town hall that if I lived in Haiti, I'd be running I'd be
Amen.
the first one on the plane to come to
Yeah.
Springfield or wherever.
Yeah, you can't blame them. You can't at all for wanting to have a better life.
And I think the immigration aspect of it is going to be important.
Yes. Gary, much like every other person I talked to that attended Vivek Ramaswamy's town hall meeting, saw it as a possible path forward, a way to figure out how to solve these issues in Springfield, how to move forward as a community. It was really a wonderful time that people came together. They spoke their hearts, they spoke their minds, they didn't censor themselves, and they were respectful with one another. It was a beautiful thing. So Vivek, we I thank you, and I know that the people of Springfield thank you for your service to that town, and I just hope and pray that the mark you've left there doesn't just get forgotten, that the community, Springfield, the leaders there locally will pick up where you've left off, that they will take the initiative and start doing meetings such as that to bring the people of Springfield together in a way that they can solve problems. Gary also looked to the situation as so many others do, a sad situation of seeming human trafficking. It's indentured servitude. These people, yes, they come from a horrible situation, but they're bussed here and they're taken advantage of by our large companies. The temp agencies are making lots of money, getting them in, getting them working, and making a bunch of money because they can pay these Haitians much less than what you would pay your standard American employee. This is not something that is sustainable. It's not something that you can continue. We need to figure this out as Americans. We need to figure this out because the small communities we live in are so important to us, as is evidenced by the people there in Springfield. So let us come together. Let us come together because we need to, because it's important, because these issues you can't just stick your head in the sand and wish that they'll go away, because they're not gonna. So we need to come together. If you appreciate what we're bringing you, what we're doing here, the truth we're providing, the vital narratives, the voices that you're not going to hear anywhere else, then I just ask that you hit the like button, that you subscribe to our channel, because it's viewers like you that show us that we're doing important things. We will continue, regardless of how many of you support this channel, we will continue to bring you the voices that the mainstream media leave out, that they refuse to show, the narratives that you're only going to hear here. So until next time, embrace the stories that matter.